This is the Gerry Callahan Show.
So it is official. Democrats shut down the government at midnight last night. It is the 14th government shutdown since 1980. It was the longest under Donald Trump's first term, 35 days. There was a 16-day shutdown under Barack Obama. And I got a question for you. Do you remember any of those shutdowns? Those 14 shutdowns over the last 45 years? I sure don't. 900,000 federal workers were locked out today, most of them working from home. They get a vacation. It'll probably last a week, 2 weeks, maybe a month. And when they come back, they get all their back pay. I don't remember a lot of needless death in those previous shutdowns, but that's exactly what Democrats are promising from this shutdown. Here's Liz Warren tweeting. She says over 300 rural hospitals will close. Mamas giving birth could lose access to their health care. Seniors in nursing homes who rely on Medicaid could be kicked to the curb. Over 50,000 people will die, says the fake Indian. I'm not sure it's going to work this time. Here's what you need to know about government shutdowns. Democrats do this. They're more willing to do this than Republicans because they know they have one thing in their back pocket. The mainstream media will invariably blame Republicans. They know that. That is part of the strategy. Shut down the government, lie about people dying, babies and their mamas dying, and let the media do the rest. Just leave it to the evening news or MSNBC or CNN or the New York Times will always, without fail, carry their water and take their side. I think this time might be different. I'm not positive, but I think it may be different. The media has changed. Obviously, it's splintered. There's social media. There's more cable channels. There's Newsmax. So people get their news from different places. And I think the trust in the mainstream media has hit a new low. So I'm not sure they're going to get away with this. And the other problem they have is it's kind of simple this time. Obviously, there's a lot of moving parts. Obviously, it's a complicated battle on Capitol Hill. But Republicans have stuck to a simple message, which happens to be true. The Democrats have forced the government shutdown because they want to give Medicaid to illegal aliens. That's it. That's all. They also they want to fund NPR. They want $500 million for National Panhandler Radio and public broadcasting system. Those are pretty simple to understand, and those are losing issues. That's how far gone the Democrats are. They are under the control of their far left, of the radicals, the Squad, AOC, Ayanna Pressley. These are people who want to give benefits to illegal aliens. These are people who rely, who prioritize illegal aliens over American citizens. That is a fact. They are heartbroken that Trump, in the big, beautiful bill, will no longer provide benefits to illegal aliens. And he's, at the same time, rounding them up and kicking them out. That's their base. They need those people. They need them to be counted in the census. They are hoping they vote. They have completely flipped in the last 20, 25, 30 years. They used to be right there with the Republicans saying, we can't give benefits to illegal aliens. We can't have an open border. That has all changed. And you could see the videos. They're out there, all of them. The Clintons, Schumer, Pelosi, all the Democrats used to say, we can't have an open border. Now they rely on the open border. They rely on people who came in here illegally. And they've made it clear. They're willing to shut down the government. People will die, but they're willing to do it because they want illegal aliens to get public benefits. I don't think that's too hard to grasp, get your mind around. So I'm not sure they're going to get away with it this time. I'm not sure everyone will believe that this is all Trump's fault. I mean, there's a lot of stupid people out there who just believe whatever AOC tells them or whatever Rachel Maddow tells them or Joe Scarborough. There'll be certain people who will say, oh, Trump's the president. It's his fault. But when you look at this, when you listen, when you read, you understand that the Democrats have been captured by the far left. Chuck Schumer is doing this because he is afraid of the far left, particularly AOC, who is probably going to challenge him for the Senate seat in 2026. And she'll beat him, and he'll be done. It'll be over for Chucky. And AOC, this absolute dummy, will be in the Senate. Get AOC on this shutdown. This is what used to work. Just look in the camera and say, Trump did it. People will die, and hope your low IQ base will run with it. I'm not sure it works anymore. Here's AOC.
What I'm not going to do is tolerate 4 million uninsured Americans because Donald Trump decided one day that he wants to just make sure that kids are dying because they don't have access to insurance. That's what's not going to happen. And so if those senators think that we're having a shutdown because of me, they're free to enter my office and negotiate, because what we're not going to do is allow all of millions of people in this country to not be able to afford their insulin and their chemotherapy. So come strike a deal with me if that's what they really think is going on. Come strike a deal with me, says the backbencher in the House. She's in the minority in the House, which is already passed the continuing resolution. She can't negotiate anything. That's her power play. And again, she's not smart enough to do it subtly. She flat out says, come negotiate with me. Why would they do that? Why would that ever be a factor? It's all up to Chuck Schumer, but that's Chuck's fear right there, that lunatic, far left, radical socialist is coming for him. Here's the problem they have. They're not smart enough to do this. Yesterday, Maxine Waters, crazy Maxine, who's been in the House for 35 years, I believe, who's 84, 85 years old, and was never the brightest bulb to begin with. She was out on the steps outside the Capitol, and a reporter went up to her, and she said she revealed the truth, is what she did. She told the truth, not purposely, but she said what lots of Democrats have said. They don't want to kick people off their health care. They don't want to take health care from people, not citizens, not taxpayers, not Americans. And if they're telling the truth, good, we get to hear it. But they will not say it's Americans they're concerned with, because it's not. Do we have Maxine saying the quiet part out loud and then getting a little snippy? This is so revealing. And Mike Johnson pointed this out, said, listen to what Maxine Waters said. She doesn't want people to lose their health care, illegals to lose their health care. Check this out.
Do Democrats want to prioritize the health care of illegal aliens over a government shutdown? Because if the government does shut down, Americans...
Excuse me, stop it right there. We're not prioritizing. What we're doing is saying simply we want to keep the government open, and we want to work with the Republicans and have a bipartisan agreement to keep this government open, and health care is at the top of our agenda.
But are Democrats demanding health care for illegal aliens?
Democrats are demanding health care for everybody. We want to save lives. We want to make sure that health care is available to those who would die, but having the help of their government.
So you're good with the government shutdown, even if it means giving health care to people who aren't American citizens?
Well, that's what you're pushing on. What you're trying to do is you're standing here and you're trying to make me say that somehow we're going to put non-citizens over Americans. Quit it. Stop it. This is the kind of journalism we don't need.
No, I'm just asking
divisive.
Questions.
No, you're not.
Yeah, no,
you're being divisive. No, please. You don't need to ask that question. You're just trying to get controversy here. You're not going to get it from me. We want to save health care for all people. Thank you.
Thank you,
There
Congresswoman.
it is. Great job by that reporter. That's actual journalism right there. You think anybody at ABC or NBC or CNN will do that today when Maxine Waters walks out of the Capitol? Of course not. But she did it. Credit to her. Mad Maxine just told the truth. We want to give health care to everybody. Everybody. That means illegal aliens. So there's the line in the sand. Trump, the Republicans, Mike Johnson, John Thune are saying no more health care for illegal aliens. And Democrats are saying we are willing to shut down the government, which will cost lives, to save health care for illegal aliens. Oh, and by the way, we want 1.5 trillion in other wasteful spending, including half a billion for public broadcasting. So they don't have the people on their side. This is not a winning issue. And again, they need the media to lie for them. They need people to ignore that. Maxine Waters admitting. Can you get the Scott Jennings clip? Because this is, again, so revealing. They want to give health care. They want to give benefits to illegal aliens. They don't care that probably 80% of the public is against this. And when you pin them down, when you get them on the record, they admit it. Yes, illegal aliens need insulin too. Well, sure they do. They should get it in their own country, not here. They're not legal citizens. They're not Americans. There is the Scott Jennings face. He's so good at this. But here he is with a bunch of Democrats screaming how kids will die. Illegal alien kids will die because we're not giving them things they have no right to. Go ahead.
Everyone deserves health care.
Even illegals?
Every single person in the world deserves
Just for the record, as a candidate, you're for illegal aliens getting Medicaid.
I think everyone in the world deserves
That's a
healthcare.
yes. That's a yes.
I'm such a
That's a
positive.
Democratic
I mean,
position.
it is a yes, but
Yeah.
It's a Democratic
Everyone in the
position.
world
Illegal
deserves
aliens should
healthcare.
get Medicaid.
But I mean,
How is this controversial?
but
How is it controversial?
Why is it controversial to think they don't want someone to die in the hospital if they can't afford
Who do you
it?
think pays for healthcare when undocumented people show up at a hospital? Who pays for that?
We all pay for it.
Exactly.
including
We all
undocumented
pay
people
for
because
it.
they actually contribute.
That's the point. That's the point.
We do realize that
Who pays for the welfare system in this country generally?
Taxpayers.
Taxpayers.
And perhaps
Are you for it or not?
Can I start my logic train?
Are
with
you for it or not?
My logic train starts with
Just
the fact that
say
I don't
yes.
want to kick 11 million people off.
Do you
of
want
Medicaid.
illegal aliens on or not?
Do I want first of all, do I want undocumented citizens to
Just
have
say
health care?
yes.
The answer is yes.
Scott,
Okay.
if
There
someone
you go. Right
says
there.
you want them to not get insulin if you're diabetic.
I want
He gets the whole panel to admit they want to give illegal aliens health care. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Undocumented guests health care. You run with that, Democrats. There you go. But we're not going to see the difference. I mean, you can't go to a national park today. If you were planning on visiting Yellowstone, they're not open. And they'll be closed for a week. And all the people who work there will get paid. It's not a big deal. We've been through this many, many times, and we'll probably go through it again. But at least this time we understand what it is. You know what? They're pissed that able-bodied young men who refuse to work were kicked off Medicaid. Democrats wanted them. They fight for them. Able-bodied 28-year-old guys who don't want to work, don't even want to volunteer. You could volunteer for 20 hours a week, but they don't even want to do that. And Trump kicks them off Medicaid, and Democrats are pissed. So we're seeing the cracks here. They had the Senate three Democrats, or Angus King from Maine, independent, really a Democrat, voted with the Republicans. There will be more. It will get close, and if the media covers it honestly, you will see how far left the Democrats have gone on this. And how they have completely flipped and devoted themselves, all their energy to protecting illegals. Get me Nancy Pelosi from what year was that? Oh, Chucky, get Chucky from 96.
2007 from Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, 2007, even better. 2007 for Nancy. But then we'll get to Chuck because he is key here. But here is the matriarch of the Democrat Party, Nancy Pelosi. Just, what would that be? 18 years ago. Go ahead.
The undocumented are not allowed to receive benefits from this initiative. It was clear in the first bill. It's even clearer in the second bill. So the cap on who can receive it, stronger language as to undocumented, no illegal aliens, to use your term, I prefer undocumented, are able to get benefits.
Same woman willing to shut down the government to make sure illegals get benefits. There's no conviction here, no principle. It's just hardball politics. We need those people. We need them for the future of our party, and they will fight with them. And all I could say is, if Trump had lost, if Kamala were in the White House, there would still be millions of illegal aliens and able-bodied young men on Medicaid. Here's Chucky from 96. Then we'll get to Chucky from today.
This is an anti-fraud amendment. Over where we go, people say, well, why can't you stop illegal immigrants or others from coming here? And the number one answer we give our constituents is when they come here, they can get jobs, get benefits against the law because of fraud. And here, the gentleman from Florida has put together the most effective anti-fraud measure we can find without it changing the actions of the government one bit. And we find all this opposition. Ladies and gentlemen of this chamber, what I worry about is that this bill, which started out with good intentions, whether you agree with it or disagree with it, is going to end up being the same kind of thing that the public gets angry with us on. We say we're doing something, and we do nothing. Because every time someone makes a rational and small proposal to get something done, people say, well, what about this hypothetical, that hypothetical, et cetera. I urge support of this amendment. If you believe you want to stop fraud in immigration, you have no choice but to support this amendment.
You have no choice. You have no choice to support an amendment which stops illegal aliens from getting public benefits. That's the man who just shut down the government because his demand that we give illegal aliens benefits was not met. That and other. By the way, here's how simple this is. This continuing resolution, this spending was going to be at Biden levels. There's no cut, and it's not enough. They want to put back in there all the things that were cut by the big, beautiful bill. They want to restore again, illegals to Medicaid and NPR and other goodies. And they're willing to shut down the government to do it. There's no cut. This is Biden level spending. That's not great. I mean, conservatives shouldn't be happy about that. We're continuing to spend money we don't have, and they want to spend more. And they're willing to shut down the government to do it. And they're counting on the media to carry their water. By the way, keep an eye on this. The Russ Vought, the OMB guy, he is threatening, subtly, mass layoffs. If they do this, they can start firing federal workers, and they will. I'm not sure it'll be enough, but they will fire federal workers, and Democrats will scream. But they're doing it because they can, because the government is shut down. So it will be interesting to watch. And there'll be all the essential employees. It's something like 85 or 88% of the federal government continues. It's non-essential workers who are locked out. And that's kind of what we voted for. So bring it on. Good luck to federal workers. Enjoy your vacation. It's beautiful, at least in the Northeast. Good day to have off, good week to have off. So congratulations to them. All right, we have to get to this. Speaking of Chucky and Hakeem Jeffries, big controversy yesterday when Trump, the greatest troll ever, reposted a meme, and it was hilarious, and it drove the Democrats nuts. But the same people who said, Trump took Jimmy Kimmel off the air because he was making jokes about him, and you got to have a sense of humor. You should be comedians should be protected. We have to be able to laugh. They didn't laugh at this, although I think they probably did. Most of the people screaming about this did laugh, but then they decided it was racist and whatever, homophobic and offensive, but it was pretty damn funny. Here's what our president, he is just such a, I mean, he's having too much fun. Let's be honest. Trump, there's a lot of important, serious issues, but he is having too much fun. He posted this, and then we'll get the reaction from the Democrats. Go ahead.
Look, guys, there's no way to sugarcoat it. Nobody likes Democrats anymore. We have no voters left because of all of our woke trans bullshit. Not even black people want to vote for us anymore. Even Latinos hate us. So we need new voters. And if we give all these illegal aliens free health care, we might be able to get them on our sides.
And the media wants you to know that's not real. That was AI. Chucky didn't say that. And Hakeem Jeffries, if you're just listening, he's wearing a sombrero, his own mustache, and it was pretty damn funny. And although Democrats want you to know it's offensive. Here's CNN, MSNBC, Ari Melber saying they won't show you that meme, that little video, because it's fake and because it doesn't meet their standards. He is sitting with Don Lemon, who yesterday said white men are dumb and lazy and broken. And he lied and said white men are committing all the violence. He's on the set with the MSNBC host who says this silly, funny meme is beneath their standards. Check this out.
This is Trump AI attack. It's a video. I'm not going to play the whole video because we don't find it meets our standards or is newsworthy. But I want to show, before I show Jeffrey's response, what he put up. It's basically this ridiculous, hateful, kind of bigoted, doctored image. In the video, he has the politicians saying things they don't really say. So we're the news. We're not going to tell you what it is because it's false. We have that standard. But Jeffries felt moved to respond. This is new. Here's what he said to the president.
And Jeffries got all tough and said, say it to my face. Like, say what to your face? He didn't say anything. He just posted a video. And I will say it wasn't the funny. It was mildly humorous. I didn't laugh out loud until he followed it up with this. Now, I will admit, I rarely look at silly memes, silly videos online and laugh. I laughed at this one. This was flat out hilarious. Here, after they all reacted with such indignation, after they were outraged at the first video. This is what you have to love about Trump. We've never seen anything like this. A president, with a sense of humor, a president who is mischievous and silly in the middle of all the crises we're facing. But this was funny. Go ahead.
Bigotry will get you nowhere. We are fighting to protect the health care of the American people in the face of an unprecedented Republican assault.
That is so, I could not stop laughing. And it's just the fact that he did it after they were all screaming about how racist it was and how offensive it was. He posted another one. If you're just listening, Trump is in the mariachi band. All the players are Trump with the horns and the guitar and sombreros. What's racist about it? A hat? A hat is racist? A hat? A mustache? He just, you know what? He just has no more F's to give. This might not have happened in his first term. This might not have happened if he were facing the voters again or he was worried about impeachment, but he's not. And it's great. It's just hilarious. And screw him if they can't take a joke. Here's Hakeem, outraged. Want you to know how offended he was. Go ahead.
Mr. President, the next time you have something to say about me, don't cop out through a racist and fake AI video. When I'm back in the Oval Office, say it to my face. Say it to my face.
Say what to your face? He had them in the Oval Office, Schumer and Jeffries, and Trump put out Trump. Look at this. It's a great photo. There's There's Hakeem right there with J.D. Vance on the desk. The Resolute desk is Trump 2020. He is just priceless. Trump 2028 hats on the desk facing Hakeem Jeffries. I guess that would be to your face, Hakeem, right there. And you could pretend you're upset, you're offended. But God, it was funny, and he just doesn't care. Oh, we got to. Don Lemon was sitting there talking about how offended he was too. Don Lemon. It is amazing to think about it. That Don Lemon's on the air the day after saying white men are dumb and lazy and broken. No price to pay, at least according to MSNBC. They have standards. They don't allow fake news or disinformation on their airwaves, but they will put a absolute racist, bigot, moron like Don Lemon on. Hard to believe, but all right, we got so much more to get to. I want to get to this boycott of Netflix because I think it might work. But let's do Ed Markey first because it's Ed Markey. We have to get to the dumbest man in the Senate, my junior senator. This hasn't got a lot of play, not a lot of coverage. And it's not, I guess it's not a huge deal because he's not important. Again, he's a backbencher. He's nobody. He's irrelevant to the country. But James O'Keefe, who does the undercover videos, who catches people, horny people, on undercover videos, I think in most cases they get their marks, their victims on Tinder or Grindr, and they get them out, get a few drinks in them, and then they spill the beans. Well, he gets Ed Markey, an aide for Markey named Jordan Jefferson, on undercover video, admitting that they use the autopen and sign things that Markey doesn't even know about. That's a big deal with Joe Biden, a huge scandal. I guess it's not with Ed Markey because, again, he's irrelevant, but it was pretty funny to listen to this guy. I'm not sure if Markey's reacted to this yet, but here is his staff member, Jordan Jefferson, admitting that a U.S. senator doesn't know what is being signed on his behalf. Go ahead.
This is where Jordan Jefferson's claims cross into a very gray area.
Like everybody does autopen. You don't have time to sign everything.
Do you have to tell him exactly what's on it?
I do it because I respect your signature.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody else. I'm saying I'm giving you the quiet part out loud. Yeah. But some people don't do ask them.
Senator Ed Markey relies on the autopen used by his staff for everything from Veterans Affairs cases to visa issues.
Just got to get that stuff done.
A visa issue, veteran affair, not for an individual case, a senator is not going to be yeah, let me know. So there's no time to make sure you let me know you use my autopen.
Got it.
On Capitol Hill, mistakes don't fall on U.S. senators. They fall on the staff. If the wrong document gets signed, Jefferson says Senator Markey has an easy out. Just blame the staff. Throw the blame on aides the public has never heard of.
Are you guys allowed to use it?
Yeah, you just go up to it. The signature is really
not that big a deal. Do you guys have to get approval to use that every time from him, or?
I've never heard anybody ask, can I use the autopen?
Do they just try and keep it a secret?
Well, no, it's out there. Be like, oh, I didn't know about this. My staff did it. But, I didn't know about this. I mean, it's easy to blame your staff because nobody knows who they are. And then the staff is like, this is an easy get out of jail free card.
How do these people not know? I mean, he doesn't know he's being set up here. She just goes through methodically the questions and he admits it. Yeah, it's a get out of jail free card. He also talks about driving the senator when he's had too much to drink, which is not a bad thing, but interesting. He talks about the senator's wife too, which is also interesting. It's like a 10-minute video and it's pretty revealing. I mean, no surprise. I mean, Ed Markey's, I'm sure he doesn't know much about anything. He's not smart enough, and he's got guys like Jordan Jefferson doing his job for him. But there'll be no blowback on Markey. No one will care. He'll probably get reelected. He'll be 80 years old and stumbling around clueless like Joe Biden, but it won't matter. All right, we got to get to this. I want to do this New York Times poll, very revealing poll, and The View reacts to Pete Hegseth calling out fat generals to their fat faces in that absolutely spectacular speech he gave yesterday. You're not going to believe this, but The View does not approve of such fat shaming. We'll get to that and more, but first.
Excuse me.
What do you get when you have a bald eagle standing on top of a silverback gorilla that is riding on top of a T-Rex? Confidence, that's what you get, pure confidence. The kind of confidence that you really need in the bedroom for that next level laser wolf riding a raptor in a Lamborghini through outer space type of experience. That's where Ruziet Go Long comes in. This isn't just another ED pill. It's a confidence game changer. Go Long combines 2 doctor-trusted medications in one dual-action formula to help you get hard and go the distance. Plus, effects last up to 36 hours, which means you can feel confident all day and night and then some into the next day, too. Getting started is simple. Connect with a board-certified doctor 100% online at Ruziet.com. If prescribed, your treatment ships discreetly to your door. Ready to level up your confidence in the bedroom? Head to Ruziet.com and use promo code Newsmax for 15% off your first order. That's Ruziet.com, code Newsmax. Make sure to use my code so they know we sent you. All right, the Democrats have a lot of problems. You know, they're counting on history to repeat itself, and they take the House back and maybe the Senate in the midterms, but their policies just aren't popular. They have this cloud hanging over them as long as they support men in women's locker rooms, men in women's sports. They can't run from that. Hell, it's a big deal in the Virginia's governor's race. Maybe we'll get to this story tomorrow, but because a convicted sex offender, a bald middle-aged guy named Dick Cox, was using the women's locker room at a high school, and they say they can't charge him with a crime. Parents are outraged, and the Democrat candidate Spanberger, she will not denounce that. It's a problem they have, and they, I'm sure, don't know what to do about it. And the New York Times came out with a poll today, and they're really disappointed. So is all the Politico, Axios, because Trump's approval rating is holding steady. It's the same as it was. It's like 42%, not great, but it's not going down despite, as they say, his really unpopular policies, like deporting criminals. They're just wishing, hoping. But here's, to me, the most revealing part, the most revealing question that was asked. The question is, what's the most important problem facing America today? And the economy is first, inflation. But here's the interesting thing. All these big Democrat issues, abortion, education, climate change, election integrity, all poll at less than 1%. People don't care about the things Democrats purport to care about. They don't care about climate change anymore. They're done with it. They don't care about election integrity. What else is on there? Equality, racism, 2%. Racism, misinformation, 2%. So 2% of respondents think misinformation is the biggest problem facing America today. It's hard to believe. Polarization, division, that poll's pretty high, 13%. Election integrity, less than 1%. Climate change, less than 1%. You keep going with that, Democrats. Keep running with that. Climate change and election integrity. I don't think it's working. And you'll never see an issue. You'll never see an event that is more divisive, polarizing than Pete Hegseth's speech yesterday, which we went over. We played you all the highlights. It was spectacular. If you haven't seen it again, I implore you. 45 minutes, worth every minute. I still can't believe, and I was watching it again this morning, some clips. He doesn't look at the teleprompter. He memorized this speech, and he delivered it masterfully. I mean, say what you want about the guy, disagree with him if you want, but he is an incredible communicator, and the crowd shots are priceless. And I loved when Democrats jumped on this, and they said, oh, The generals didn't applaud. They didn't laugh. They didn't look happy. Well, they weren't supposed to look happy. He was bringing in a new era, is what he was doing. Times have changed. Everything would be based on merit, and everybody has to do their part. And he said, even the fat generals and fat admirals waddling around the Pentagon have to get in shape. No more tolerance for such slovenly appearances. No more beards, and no more guys who can't fit into their uniforms. And they weren't happy about this because, the free ride is over. No more lobster tails and ribeye steaks on the taxpayers. You got to get in shape. And of course, Democrats reacted predictably. They didn't like this. Women will now be held to the same standards as men. And I just find it amazing that they can't differentiate between everything else and the military. Again, if you want to talk about affirmative action and quotas and DEI, and you're talking about the Department of Education, I strongly disagree with any DEI program, but you can make your case if you're talking about education or whatever. But you're talking about the military, and they forget the mission. It's not social engineering, which is what it was under the Biden administration, under Lloyd Austin and Mark Milley. But it's about killing people, winning wars. It's about combat, and that's what Hegseth's message was, that the mission, we're going back to American exceptionalism, having the best military on the planet, not a military that celebrates diversity. And everyone was playing the clips of the Chinese military parades. They don't have fat soldiers. They don't care about diversity. They don't have any diversity. They have a fit, trim, ready military. And that's what we're going to have under Pete Hegseth. But it was just priceless listening to Democrats react to this, saying we can't have fat people on the front lines in combat. And they're like, that's fat shaming. Here's what, no surprise, the View, the whole cast of the View is not happy that the Secretary of War was calling out unfit soldiers. Go ahead.
And then also he said he was going to return to the highest male standard for combat positions because the troops were fat.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that was supposed to be an uplifting message for our military.
Maybe he's referring to Colonel Sanders.
It was really a bizarre thing. He started talking about woke DEI policies. By the way, there are no gender quotas in the military. By the way, he fired more than a dozen military leaders, many of them people of color and women. He fired the chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff, General Charles Brown Jr., who is African-American. Yeah. He fired the first woman to command the Navy, Admiral Lisa Franchetti. I don't understand the sort of hypocrisy of firing these people, having all these people meet together and then denigrating them.
Did you look at it? They're looking at him like he has two heads.
Well,
that's the whole point. Dummy. By the way, the two people she talked about, C.Q. Brown and the admiral, the woman admiral, were huge DEI proponents. That was their top priority, was diversifying the forces. They were removed from their command because they weren't on the same page with Hegseth and Trump. That's what you're supposed to do. And it wasn't supposed to be an uplifting message for people who were out of shape. He was saying everyone's going to have to do a pull-up, all right? Women, men, white, black, doesn't matter. All held to the same standards. And they're perplexed. We're going to do that? What? We're not going to have a diverse fighting force? We're not going to have, women on the front lines who could never carry one of their fallen comrades off the battlefield? Why? He's getting rid of black and brown people and women. No, he's ignoring the color of their skin, their gender, and saying we're all being held to the same standards. It was a day later. I appreciate it even more. It was brilliant. It was, and every veteran I've seen on cable news, on online, every single veteran has applauded this, said they've been waiting to hear this their whole careers. This was uplifting to the right people, Joy and Sonny. Not to you. because you think everything is about skin color and gender. It was the message all the right people wanted to hear, and it was great. All right, I got a question for you, Ironhead. There's a big push to boycott Netflix. I saw this. Libs of TikTok, who's got millions and 4 million followers on Twitter, probably 10, 15 million followers on all platforms, is leading the effort to boycott, to cancel Netflix. Now, I've talked about boycotts a lot in the past. I've said the Bud Light was the most effective conservative-led boycott we've ever seen, but it was easy. It was easy to boycott Bud Light. I did it. You just don't buy it. Buy something else. Buy another kind of beer. It was, you walk into a liquor store, a grocery store, and you just buy something else. Really easy to do, and it absolutely destroyed the brand. I believe Bud Light has fallen to the third most popular. It was first, but far and away, before they hired Dylan Mulvaney and put him in a bathtub with his Bud Light, and the brand was destroyed. It may never recover. Target took a huge hit. We've seen other boycotts work, but I'm not sure this one is going to work. I'm not sure it's that
this is the NFL of streaming services.
Right. It is true. Yeah, and I've said this too. A lot of conservatives over the last few days have been saying they're never going to watch the NFL because they hired a cross-dressing guy who doesn't sing in English, and that Bad Bunny decision is so bad. It's so just offensive to people saying, wait, you can pick anyone, and you pick a guy who hates this country, who vowed to never perform in this country. That's a guy who dresses like a woman, including big fake breasts. You want that guy? That's not appealing to most of the football fans, but we've gone over that. We'll do it again. We'll get to that again because I think there's going to be real backlash, not a boycott, just real anger. Anyway, I think I think boycotting Netflix, especially for people like you, parents whose kids watch Netflix, is going to be tough. But here's why she lives of TikTok. And by the way, Elon Musk is canceling his Netflix. That's a big one, man. That is big. And so are thousands of other people because they have this woke garbage. And again, it's not for adults. This is for kids. This is for little kids. This is for 6 and 7-year-olds. And this is a show called, tell me the name of the show again, Ironhead.
This one particularly is CoComelon Lane.
CoComelon Lane. And again, it's for little kids. And here's a clip where a little boy puts on a skirt and dances with his 2 daddies. Go ahead.
Thing that we know about you, you love to get up and dance. How about you break out those moves for your 2 biggest fans?
Oh boy.
If you're not sure what to choose,
you let your children watch this?
I let them watch CoComelon. They have standards at CoComelon. CoComelon Lane goes off the rails.
Little boy in a skirt is, of course, one of his fathers is black and the other is a redheaded guy with a beard. And he's dancing in a skirt for his 2 daddies. Now, I'm not sure this is going to cripple Netflix, but it's going to wake them up. And maybe they will change. Maybe it'll affect some change and they won't have garbage like that on Netflix anymore. But I don't think I could cancel Netflix. I don't think my wife and kids would allow it, but I could do it, I guess. But you're right. They have great military documentaries and some good shows. I think The Waterfront, which was a good show, like 10-part show. Was Ozark on Netflix? Because I loved Ozark.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so it'll be tough. It's a big ask, but hey, if it's not, a big deal to you, if you don't feel like you're getting your money's worth, cancel it and send the receipt to Libs of TikTok because she's posting them all. It's gonna have an effect. I'm not sure it's gonna destroy the brand like it did with Bud Light. You're right. Netflix and the NFL are probably immune to boycotts. They're probably too big to boycott, but they're gonna make an effort and they're gonna Netflix is going to feel this at some extent. It's not going to ruin them, but it's going to have an effect. But, all right, that will do it for today. Day one of the government shutdown. Hopefully, all the federal employees are enjoying their vacation, and they can hang in there for a week or two when they get all the money that all their pay for this days off that they're getting right now. And people will die, of course, according to Liz and AOC. People will die. We'll keep an eye on that. See how many people die because the national parks are closed. But thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'm Gerry Callahan. This is the Callahan Show, and we'll do it again tomorrow.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the facts. And let me ask the crowd, what did Trump